As I promised to you in the previous video, I'm going to show you how to use the improvement cycle for yourself on the range to speed up swing changes and stop wasting time and effort to not improve. This is the fastest way to getting better. So now let's head to the studio and get started. I want you to know the most efficient way to do this and not make it any more complicated than it needs to be. So here we go. Firstly, was the shot up to standard for your level? So like, are we aiming for a good shot like we would on the course, in which case the result of the shot is our feedback? Or are we looking for, say, like a good impact on the club face, in which case you'll need some sort of feedback? It might be spray, it might be our launch monitor. Or are we looking for a good swing move, in which case video feedback or a coach will be giving you the feedback on that. So identify this first so you know what you're trying to do, what's successful and what isn't. I feel that if you're working on bits on the range like we are here, we're more likely to be focused on impact and swing move than we are like the outcome of the shot. And that should take care of itself. And like the ball flight and the shot will probably be more when we're on the course. As I explained previously, are your expectations realistic? So for impact, are you really going to be hitting dead center every time? Or is just in between the grooves acceptable for you? Or maybe you're just trying to aim to get within 1 centimetre or 2 centimetres of your target. And if you're working on the swing move, how close do you need to get to the correct swing move for it to be acceptable for you? Maybe at this stage, overdoing it a little bit is actually okay, but not making enough change isn't okay. So if you did have a good outcome with your shot, obviously you don't need to change anything. You can go with the same feel, the same swing foot that you just used. Or if you can tell that you're slightly off, you can just nudge it in the right direction by making them very small changes. Now these very subtle changes are great to keep you on track as you get better and you need to be more precise about things. However, if you didn't get the outcome that you wanted, you need to know what needs to be better next time, be it about the shot, the impact or the swing. So be specific, and feedback mechanisms help with this massively. So for swing changes, as we said, the feedback might be video or a coach. For impact, it's like spray or launch monitor. And for ball flight, it's just the distance, direction, curve of your shot. As explained in the last video, education on ball flight and impact play a key role here, as does having good feedback. So make sure you're up to scratch on that. In particular, so you can identify what went wrong and by how much. And then, and this is massively important, with this information and feedback, how much change is needed to get you back to the outcome that you want. We need to be able to change the swing, the impact and the ball flight by the right amount and not sort of overdo it and make massive changes. So for example, your ball flight, it might be too far left or too far right. You need to understand how much to pull that back in towards the target. If it's your impact, it could be because we're hitting it on the toe and you need the feedback, or you need to be able to feel how much on the toe it is so you can move it just the right amount towards the center. And lastly, for your swing move, again, you might use the feedback of the video or feel to tell, have you moved the swing enough in one direction, not enough, and how to get that to be the right amount for your next shot. And finally, this is where it all happens. We need to add an intervention to create the change and in the right amount. This could be just a different feel, might be a different intention for your shot or a drill. And again, this intervention must be relevant to the ball flight, the impact or the swing move that you need to change, not just a random tip that you've seen or heard. And also it must be doable for you and have a high probability of success. This is learned through practice. And through practice, you'll learn what feels and drills are best for you and that you can do most consistently. And also, if these give you the ability to change things by the right amount. Now I'm going to show you several examples of how I do all of this in 20 seconds or less, and you can copy it. So if we use that shot as an example, I can see here that I've hit the ball ever so slightly on the toe, which is why that ball drifted out to the right and went a little bit shorter. So what I'm going to try and do for my next shot is move that contact to be a little bit more towards the center. That'll get my distance back, that'll get my accuracy up a little bit, And the way that I'm going to do that is just by changing my intention slightly. So I'm going to have to aim to hit my shot maybe just a centimetre to the heel side of centre, which is then going to move my contact where it was slightly on the toe back towards the middle. So just a slightly different intention over this shot of trying to hit it slightly in the heel. That's better. And by doing that, there you go, I was able to hit that much more in the middle, and my distance and my direction was that much better. So I could tell when I hit that shot, I hit the ground probably ever so slightly before the ball. So what I'm going to try and do on this one is change my swing technique and my swing move to make sure that I hit the ground a little bit later. So slightly different to just changing my intent, I'm actually going to really feel that I shift my weight a little bit more. I could see that that hit the ground more in front of the ball. So now when I go ahead and hit it, I can make a better contact. So it's as simple as seeing where I hit the ground was just a little bit before, maybe just an inch or so. So I made a swing change or did a drill to try and move that contact forwards about an inch or so. And then when I went ahead and hit the shot, I knew that I made the right change because the contact moved forward, and also in that case in the right amount as well, because I got my contact just where I needed it to be. Remember that you will make mistakes and adaptations will happen over time, so it's very important that we factor this in and we move with this and adjust our swing thoughts and feels accordingly. So like my swing from a month ago might now create too much change and I need to ease off it a bit or find a new swing thought. I know this will really help you not only improve your shots and consistency, but also speed up your swing changes and get you improving faster. No one wants to waste their time practicing stuff that either won't make a difference or will make you worse. So don't practice in the wrong way. Use what you've learned today to make sure that this isn't you. Thanks again for watching. Any questions or comments, please leave below, and don't forget to subscribe and like the video too.